Joey and Kelly were having a moment until Joey's friends barged in right in the middle and asked to be introduced. Joey introduces Kelly as one of his lawyers, and Kelly introduces Joey as one of his clients. Joey's friend says he would want to get into some real trouble just to be represented by such a gorgeous lawyer. Kelly excused herself. Mr. Stevens congratulates Joey over a successful concert. They talk a bit and Joey dissolves to never again let his father control him from the grave. Mr. Stevens asks Joey to forgive his dad in order to be free. Joey could not bring himself to do that. Mr. Stevens offers a deal for Joey to consider forgiving his dad. In exchange, Mr. Stevens will help him complete his tasks here faster. Joey asked him to add one more thing to that deal. Mr. Stevens asked what that was. Joey told him to take Monday off, spend time with his wife and daughter, and it was a deal. Joey is out with his friends playing pool. Joey reminds his friends that he has not yet received their donations, and one laid out his heart. All Joey's friends placed in money as their donations, $400 from each. 3 thugs were in the corner watching this exchange happen. Miss Kelly went to pick a call. Joey followed right behind. Joey finds Kelly speaking on the phone, mentioning the fact that he is an arrogant, self-centered idiot and so are his friends, and how she couldn't wait for this whole thing to be over. On hearing this, Joey assumed this was all about him and he just left. By the time Kelly mentions the person she's describing in the phone call, Joey had left. He had some more drinks with his friends, who later decided to call it a night. As Joey made his way out on his own, the 3 thugs who watched the money exchange earlier followed very fast. Before Joey could take his bike, these 3 thugs beat him up and asks him for the money his friends gave him. Joey tried fighting back, but there were more and they defeated him and asked him to hand over the money. Joey informed them it's not his to hand over. They beat him furthermore. Joey still refused to hand over the money. As they continued to beat him, Kelly comes to help with a pool stick that broke in one strike, and they had her too. Kelly had called Kiel to come and help. Kiel arrived just in time and fought the thugs off. Kiel and Kelly helped Joey, who was badly beaten, to the car. Joey got comfortable with Kelly, only to push her away when they arrived at the house. Memories of the phone conversations he overheard came back to him and he pushed her further away. The next morning, Angelica analyzes proceeds from the concert and all donations, stating the value they made in the concert, asking Joey if this value includes the donations he received from his friends. Joey starts to search for the money his friends gave him, but in vain, until Kelly placed it on the table. She kept it for him after the fight they encountered with the thugs. Joey admits his view of money was very jaded, or warped as his grandmother used to put it, and how money has never meant so much to him as it does right now when he intends to give it away. He also apologizes to Miss James Kelly on behalf of his friends and himself for being arrogant, self-centered idiots, only for him to discover none of that was meant for him or his friends. This was such a relief to Joey. He considered completing his year in Anderson House after confirming with Kelly again that she was not talking about him. Mr. Stevens suggests that Joey has exceeded all that has been set for him, so the rest of the steps should be bundled up. The gift of learning was checked off the list after hearing what Joey had taught different people from all his travels. Next was dreams. On this, Joey happily shared his dreams, which was to see a man dance with his wife and a woman hold her child. He shared all the photos he had for the different artificial body parts and the research he has made to make this happen. This needed more money to be accomplished. Joey also expressed his wish and desire to continue the Anderson House legacy as his grandmother wanted. He was now having a change of heart. Angelica mentions of the recording she has from Miss Sally, which was not to be disclosed until the right time, and she believes this is the right time. Everyone moved to the room where that recording was to view it. This recording was Miss Sally's message to Joey. It touched Joey so much, and he requested everyone to leave the room and leave him alone. He watched his grandmother address the death of his father and her love for her grandson. He played this message over and over again. While at the memorial garden he built for his grandmother, Joey regretted being away from his grandmother and promised her that Anderson House legacy will continue living on in him. Later that night, Hawthorne reveals to Joey a sum of more than $200 million assigned to Joey by his grandmother before she passed on. This sum is independent from the actual inheritance the lawyers are executing. Joey could not believe this. He asked when this happened. Hawthorne informed him that she did this when Joey turned 18. Joey could not believe he is free. Joey holds a party in honor of the army men and women with their families. Michael is having artificial legs and gets to fulfill his wish to dance with his wife. Joey and Kelly enjoys a dance together at the party. The next day, Joey and Kelly are enjoying nature, rock climbing, and Joey proposes as they climb down the rock. And they live happily ever after.